Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Convos with Didi Reels. I'm so glad to be here. And I just want to say Happy New Year to you all. And welcome to 2022. So this is our first episode, and what better way to start this new year than having a show and a topic that talks about setting yourself up for the new year, setting yourself up for success in 2022. And here to discuss that with me is Mrs. Yemisi. She's a certified life coach, an entrepreneur, a minister, and a public speaker. Like, who else can you think of? Like, I feel like she's gonna see everything from like all point of view, the spirituality of it, the life experiences of it, and I am so excited to have you here. So, Mrs. Yemisi, I want you to go ahead and please go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone that might not know you.
Okay, absolutely. So, like you mentioned, my name is Yemisi Odusanya. I am so excited to be here. First of all, I wanted to thank you before I go into my intro. Thank you for this opportunity because I know how it is to invite people onto your show and to open your platform. So I want to thank you for that and for this opportunity. A little bit about myself. I have a background in epidemiology and biostatistics. I have my MPH. I am a certified life coach, and I went into coaching really because I really enjoy helping people, helping them get to their best version of themselves. But my thing is I like to focus on serenity, and that is going to differ from person to person. But whatever your place of serenity is, I love to try to help you get there. And I've been doing this for quite some time. I truly enjoy it. I see the benefits of my sessions, and I love when people win. So when you win, I feel like I'm winning. So I'm all about people winning, and I truly, truly love what I do. Like you said, I am a minister. I'm married to an amazing husband, and I have twin boys who run my life, run our life. They're they're the ones that make everything happen in our home. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Awesome. I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb so nobody interrupts our conversation. But go ahead. Please continue.
Absolutely. You mentioned serenity. Can you just, I like that, but I want to get a deeper understanding of what serenity means.
Absolutely. So serenity is your place of calmness where you feel like you're most comfortable. And a lot of people think of a physical place like an ambiance. For me, where I'm at right now, this is my place of serenity. Anytime I want to think in my bedroom, this is the perfect place for me to just be myself and to think through things. But as it applies to your life, it's a place where you feel most comfortable. So let's say, for example, one of the things you want to do is to increase your income. What would be a perfect, a comfortable place or a comfortable income for you? That's going to vary. For you, it might be one number. For somebody else, it might be something different. So that's why I like the word serenity, because it's specific to each person, and it could also change. Right now, my bedroom is my place of serenity, but there could be days where I just need to be looking out the window. So I go to a different place of my house to get that place of serenity. So it's where you feel the most calm, relaxed, and you feel like your best self.
Awesome. Awesome. So you have a coaching session for that you do?
I do. So I've been coaching for some time, and I've set up, when I say we, I talk about my team and I, we've set up some programs. It usually runs about 6 weeks, but I am doing a promo this month, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
So thank you. So to my audience, if you guys are on this show, I just want to ask you guys to please try to interact with us as much as possible. And Sister Yemisi, at the end of the show, you're actually going to be choosing 2 people that you believe interacts the most, and they're going to get to win something. So you could I
got my pen. I got my pad ready. I'll be taking notes.
Yes, thank you so much. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get into our topic, which is all about how we can better set ourselves up for success in 2022. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, how do you define success? Like, what does success mean to you?
Success to me means being able to establish a goal, because your success has to be established, right?
Mhm,
And being able to meet that goal, but not only meet that goal, but learn along the process. So
mhm,
for me, I'm just going to give one example. I would like to increase my savings, right? So
mhm.
financially, that would be a successful goal for me. But what does that mean? How much do you want to increase your savings by, or what number are
Mhm.
you trying to get?
Right.
Let's say, starting January 2022,
Mhm.
I want to have 50% more in my savings that I have right now. So by the end of the year, I can be able to look back and say, okay, Yemisi, you were very successful in getting this. You actually met and exceeded your goal or success, or you didn't meet it, but you learned a lot of things along the way. So I see success is being able to meet a goal that you've already established, but
Mhm.
also learning along the journey. Sometimes we get so focused on the outcome that we
Right.
forget to enjoy the ride and pay attention to the things along the way.
Absolutely. You're right. So there's one thing that I have to say though, like everyone has this idea of being successful and they make a long list of goals that they wish to achieve.
Yeah.
Some realistic, others are very unrealistic. That might be me too. But I'm not shooting shots at anybody. I just have I have issues with goals sometimes. But what
Listen,
are
we
steps?
all do. We all
Yeah.
do. We all do. We
Yes,
all do.
yes. And guys, I see you guys have a lot of questions here. If you guys have questions, just put it in the question box and we're gonna attend to them later on. So back to our question. I guess the question that I have for you is what are steps or things you believe everyone should implement in their lives to set themselves up for success in 2022?
Absolutely. In 2022, the first thing you need to do is define what success means for you. The
Mm,
question you started off with is perfect. That's the first thing you need to do. What
mhm.
does success mean for me in this year? Let's not think about 20 years from now. By
Okay.
December 31st, 2022, these are the things I want to accomplish. So listing out what those things are and defining them, making sure they are specific goals that you want to meet. It's
Mhm.
okay to stretch yourself, because I really believe that if you don't stretch yourself, you are going to limit yourself. So, for example, I'm just throwing this out there. If you want to, let's take this platform, for example, right? You
Mhm.
want to be able to interview like celebrities,
Mhm.
okay? Let's be a little bit more specific. So I want to be able to interview Michelle Obama by the end of this year, right? It's
Mhm.
it's it's a far-fetched goal, but listen, if you don't have it in the range, you won't be able to meet it. If you don't
Right.
see it, you can't really achieve it. So
Mhm.
writing down what your goals are, and it's okay to stretch yourself or to go
Mhm.
beyond what you think you're capable of, because
Mhm.
that's where faith comes in. I know I mentioned earlier that I'm a minister and I
Mhm.
like to incorporate faith into everything I do, but
Absolutely.
making sure your goals are written out, they're specific, and making sure you have a plan. What is your plan to achieve this goal? So you want to interview Michelle Obama. What is your plan to do that? The first thing you need to do is start following her on Instagram,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you need to follow her. You need to be connected to her somehow. And then you can say, all right, maybe for the first couple of months, I just comment on some of her posts. And maybe after 3 months, I send her a DM. Listen, I'm giving you strategies on how to get Michelle on this show. Don't forget me when she gets here.
Oh, thank
Um, and
you.
then and then you start mapping out what you need to do to get to that goal.
Uh-huh.
I would say don't be too hard on yourself.
Mhm.
Have a plan, but also be flexible, because as we all can see for the past 2 years, things come your way which you don't expect, right?
Mhm.
And it
Absolutely.
throws you off. That's okay if you get thrown
Mhm.
off of your track and off of your plan, as long as you can come back in a different way to move forward. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes, it does. And I think one of the things that you mentioned that I really liked is setting goals for like this year specifically and
Yeah.
not like, I mean, it's good to have goals for 20 years from now, but setting the realistic goals for this year specifically. Like for me, sometimes, one of my goals is to hopefully one day be able to, make a lot of money, like be balling, baller alert.
Yes. Yes.
That's one of my goals. So sometimes I'm looking at the end of the year and I'm like, Adiola, you're not a millionaire yet. You're not,
Yeah.
you know.
But you know
But the
what,
thing is,
Angela, with that goal, that's a perfect example. You want to make a
yeah,
lot of money, but how much is that? What is a lot of money? You got
right.
to be able to define it. So, what's a lot of money for you for this year? How much do you want to make this year?
For this year, see, I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't really defined it.
Okay,
That see,
okay.
that's the problem. So I have an idea. Like, to be honest, I mean, by God's grace, I don't know if I want to share how much I want to
Yeah,
make.
you don't have to share. You don't have to
But
share, but
yeah.
but have a number in mind.
Uh huh.
Have a number in mind. And there's two things that I did not mention that I want to plug in real quick because you just reminded me. Have a goal, make sure it's specific, and then have check-in points.
Right.
So if you know in 12 months you want to make this certain amount,
Uh
by
huh.
June, check in. Or actually before that, maybe in March, do quarterly check-ins and say, Adela, how's it going? Are you one fourth away from your goal? Like, are you on track? If not, maybe I need to change some things. And the last thing is to have an accountability partner. So somebody that you can check in with, whether it's a coach, somebody like me, or if it's your best friend or somebody significant in your life. And I
Mm-hmm.
do need to give a shout out to my significant other who is watching right now. Hey, baby. Um, I saw him join earlier, and every time he
Awesome.
joins anything, I always get excited because he's so supportive. He's so
So cute.
supportive. So yeah, those are it. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to make sure I added to check in. Do a midpoint check to see how far you've gone, and also have an accountability partner.
Absolutely. He said something to you. Look at that.
What did he
He said,
say?
"Hey, baby."
Oh, he's so cute.
That's cute.
I love it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. So, so we often have people make the same goals every year, and they seem to get nowhere with it. Like, I'm
Mhm.
guilty of that as well. Maybe it's because they put too much unrealistic things. What do you think that they can do to stop repeating these cycles over and over?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think the first thing, if you see something coming on your list every year, the first thing to do is ask yourself a really good, difficult question. Why wasn't I able to meet this goal last year?
Mm-hmm.
What happened that prevented me from doing this last year? That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's important for us to celebrate what we did accomplish. So
Mm-hmm.
we didn't accomplish this one thing that's on the list every year. And, I can put myself out there. One of the things that I want to do every year, and I say this every year unfailingly, is to lose weight, right? Lose weight. I want to lose weight because, it just doesn't go. It doesn't go away no matter what I try to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had to ask myself, why haven't I been able to do this? And why is this on my list every year? Should I just accept the fact that this is going to be my way? Should I just accept that this is it? Or should I go back and figure out why weren't you able to accomplish this task?
Uh-huh.
Number one, maybe you didn't put some plans in place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you didn't have an accountability partner. Maybe your goal wasn't really realistic. You are trying to do something that you haven't been able to either fit into your daily life, or you haven't put in the right processes to make sure they happen. Once you've discovered why this goal didn't happen, then you start attacking or making sure that why becomes something positive. So for example, with me wanting to lose weight, um, I didn't exercise enough. So why? Why didn't I exercise? Because I didn't have time. So I
Right.
know that in 2022, when I'm putting lose weight on my goals for the year, I
Mm-hmm.
need to, one, either accept that I need to exercise. And how do I do that? I need to plan that into my day, or I need to change my diet. Maybe exercise is not going to help me, but I need to do other things like change what I eat. I think the biggest thing is we tend to put things on our list because we feel like everybody else is doing it. But is that really what you need? If it is, and you cannot seem to figure out, why you can't do it, talk to somebody like me to help you get there. And also, celebrate what you did do. Let's not beat ourselves up so much that, we're so disappointed, we're not even motivated to do things. So I didn't lose weight last year, but guess what? I increased my savings account. Hello.
I can.
Or I'm eating better,
Yeah.
or I'm sleeping more. So what did you do? Well,
Mm-hmm.
get excited about that, and then start all over. Listen, it's never too late to start all over again. You can
Absolutely.
start all over again. And if you don't get it done in January, start in February or
Mm.
March
Mm.
or whenever.
Mm. And like you said, those checkpoints, like not waiting till a new year before you're doing those
Yes.
checkpoints, maybe
Yes.
quarterly, things like that. So I really like
Yeah.
that. Thank you so much. And so one thing that I've also noticed is, sometimes we plan as much as possible. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a day. Oh, before I even go into this question, someone said something. After reading Atomic Habits, we still can. Have you heard about that book?
I have. Many years ago, though. Many years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. They're like, after reading Atomic Habits, we still can't figure this out. That was kind
Yeah.
of funny to me. You know?
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. But there's always a new, listen, let's read it again. If you got to read it again, read it again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's all
oh,
about
this
the
person
action.
says,
No matter
go
how
ahead.
much we read, right? Like it's all about the
Hmm.
action. So let me get back into my question. So we plan as much as possible. We start the new year all fiery. Oh, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. I'm gonna be more social. I'm gonna be more intentional this year. Initially people were consistent with their goals, but somewhere along the line something can happen. They get
Yeah.
distracted. Some tragedy might happen where it's like everything is just basically upside down. So my question for you is, what advice do you have for these individuals to be able to pull themselves back to focus on their goals when they no longer have that fire when the unexpected happens?
Mhm. So I think writing things down is so key.
Mm,
Writing things down
mhm,
and having reminders
mhm.
throughout the day so you can stay on track. I don't know if you remember the sitcom. Well, it's not a sitcom. It was a series, Being Mary Jane. Do you remember Being Mary Jane
I heard of,
on
I didn't
BET?
watch it, but I know about the
You
show.
heard of.
Mhm,
So she was, let me get to the point of why I brought her up. One of the things that I really liked about her, like the first couple of episodes of Being Mary Jane, is that she had post-it notes all over the place.
mm,
Post-it notes on her mirror, post-it notes on her wall, and they were constant reminders of what she had to do. So
mhm,
for someone who is struggling to restart or get back on track, they need reminders all the time because life happens. You can plan things out and you're unable to do it. So if you need a vision board or something that can remind you of what your goals are, I would highly recommend getting that. Writing the vision down is so key. It does so many things. Not only does it serve as a reminder, it helps you articulate what's in your mind onto paper.
mhm,
And if you can get it from out of your head into paper, the chances of you accomplishing it increases because now you've put action. You mentioned action earlier.
mhm,
You start putting action to your thoughts.
mhm,
So writing it down and revisiting it frequently. So if you have a vision board, don't create a vision board and put it somewhere you don't go to every day.
mhm,
Like your vision board needs to be in your office,
mhm,
behind your computer, so you're looking at it every single time that, okay, I want to make $7 million this year. It's a constant reminder that this is a goal that I need to make. Or if you need to put little post-its on your mirror when you're getting ready this morning or
mhm,
every morning, you see it all the time. So writing the vision down, checking in periodically, and again, staying accountable. When you share your dreams and your visions with people, you're more likely to stick to them.
mhm, mhm,
um, Let me give you an example. One of the things that one of my accountability partners is my husband, and one of the things we tried to do this year was to read more. Both of us want to read more. We didn't talk about what books, but we want to read more. So we would check in every so often, not every morning, but like maybe once a week. How's that book going? And he'll say, "Oh, it's going great. I've read 3 books already." And he'll ask me, "How's it going for you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't read 3 books, but I'm getting closer." But the fact that somebody else is interested in me succeeding
mhm,
pushes me to do more and to stay on
mhm.
track.
That makes
So
sense.
staying accountable.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But I have something to say. As we Africans, sometimes we have that mindset of not sharing your goals with people and just keeping things to yourself. You
Yeah.
think that's doing more damage to us than helping us?
Um, well, I would say it depends. I'm
Okay.
not a believer in sharing everything with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things you can share with some people, and there's other things that you cannot. Because it's true. It's not everybody that sees you that wants you to flourish or win.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are in your inner circle, who
Mm-hmm.
you can trust. So if it's your life partner, your best friend, your mentor, your mentee.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be everybody, but there
Mhm.
should be somebody in your life that you trust enough to share your visions with, and they want you to win.
They want the best for you.
They
Absolutely.
want the best for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, to the audience, if you guys are listening, I want to play a little interactive session with you guys. So I'm gonna need you guys to like comment on this next question. It's for you guys. You guys are my guests right now. I'm just kidding.
So I can drink some water now.
Temporarily, it's the Yemisi is the main one here. But to the audience, please tell me some things that you've noticed in the past that has stopped you from achieving the things that you've put your mind to. Something that hindered your success. If you can just
Mhm.
like type it in the comment section, I would really appreciate that. So just tell us some of the things that some behaviors, some habits that you might have noticed that stopped you from achieving the things that you
Mm.
always wanted to achieve. Let me think about mine.
I was
For
gonna
me,
ask you to share. I was gonna ask you to share yours because
yeah,
you're putting everybody else out there. We want to
yeah.
know about you, Adela. What are some things that have prevented you from getting to, your goals?
I think let me see. I would say discipline
Mm.
and
Okay.
being in my head too much, like trying to do things based on how I feel. Like, oh, I don't feel like doing things today. I'm not gonna do it. But most of the time, you're never gonna feel like doing things, but you still gotta do it. Yeah. Someone says procrastinating.
Yep,
Hashtag
I had that. Yep.
procrastinator.
Self doubt. Oh, somebody said self doubt,
Yeah.
not planning.
Yeah. Lack of motivation. Yeah. Stress. Self doubt. Um, fear of the unknown. Exactly. Listening to other people that made me doubt my vision. That's my little brother.
Mhm.
By is that my little brother? Oh no, it's not. Never mind. That was the same name. That was the same name. Never mind. I thought he was here.
Being too comfortable. Someone said being too
Being
comfortable.
too
Lack
comfortable.
of inspiration. Oh my goodness.
Tell
So
me
many
about it.
things.
One moment you're on fire today, the next moment you're just like, oh,
Mm-hmm,
I really
mm-hmm.
have to do
Yeah,
this. And you're like, but I was
yeah.
so passionate about that. But you just gotta keep. So, thank you guys for actually sharing, your thoughts. Really appreciate it. Sister Yamsi, do you have anything to say to all these things that they've mentioned? And are there some things that you've noticed in your practice that they might not have mentioned in the comment section?
Yeah, so I first of all want to thank everybody for being open and transparent, because you all listed several things that that hinder people from achieving their goals. Self-doubt is a big thing. It's a big, big thing. Not thinking that you could do it or you are worthy of doing it. And for that one in particular, because I think that manifests in so many different people, I want you to know that not only are you able to, you're capable. The fact that you thought about it, the fact that that idea came to your mind is just a testament, and it's a confirmation that you're able to do it. You may not know how, but it's something that's within your reach. You just have to gain more information about it, map it out, and start working with somebody to get through it. There's so many things people mention. I wish I could talk about all of them, but for another one that came up was procrastination, and this is like the biggest thing for everybody, including myself. Including myself, one of the things that I've learned to do is when something comes to my mind and I'm able to do it immediately, just do it. Don't even think too much about it. Just do it. Don't think about, oh, I can do this tomorrow, or let me put this off. Let me schedule it. Just do it, especially if it is less than 5 minutes. If it's going to take you less than 5 minutes, girl, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. All you got to do is get up and do it. I think what the enemy in quote tries to do is to make something seem larger than it's what it is, and it's really not. If you just break down that task, that goal, into milestones and then attack each milestone, you'll be able to accomplish it. But I want you all to know that this is something that everybody goes through. Adiela, you can attest to this, can't you? We've all been there where we're like, it's just too much, or I don't have time, I don't feel like, but you got time to do everything else. You got time to get your hair done, your nails done. You got time to,
Lay down
talk
and do
on
nothing.
the floor, lay down and do nothing. You have time to catch up on shows. You have time to do everything. But
Yeah.
it's the things that's tied to your destiny and your purpose
Mm,
that is a struggle. Why? Because there's so much greatness. Sometimes we can be afraid of success as well, that
mm,
we limit ourselves from getting there.
mm,
But, our intention, the whole reason why we were created was to be a reflection of God and to
mhm,
be great. He
mhm.
doesn't want anybody to be mediocre. There
Absolutely.
wasn't supposed to just be one great artist. We
Mhm,
all have gifts, and we're all meant to be walking in the manifestation of our gifts.
mhm,
And the fact that you're thinking about it means that you can accomplish it. You just got to figure out how, navigate through it.
mhm, mhm. Thank you so much. You know, one thing I think one of the other things that I struggled with is like self-sabotage, which is almost like the same thing as, like
Yeah,
sometimes you just know you have to do it, but you choose not to do it, then it's going to be last minute. You're going to be regretting it. It's almost like you're sabotaging on yourself. Like you're trying to stop yourself from being who you're meant to be. You know, sometimes even with my show, I feel like I'm like, I know you could work
yeah.
harder to get this out there and moving, but sometimes I just, like the lack of motivation and everything. But one thing I always realize is once I start to do something, it actually makes me feel better. Like it's
I was
sometimes
just gonna I was gonna ask you that.
yeah.
So, okay, with the show, I love this example, and thank you for being transparent. With the show part, it's a struggle sometimes to do the prep work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you do it, don't you feel
You
like
feel so
energized?
good. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And so it's in that good place that you can
Mm-hmm.
start attacking or tackling the next things. Because for
Mm-hmm.
me, I have a show as well that I do periodically. And sometimes I struggle to like start it, or I'm like, oh, do I want to do it now? Or are people going to listen? And then I get on, I'm having so much fun, and I'm like, that was amazing. That was so much
Like, why
fun.
was I struggling to do it?
Why
Yeah.
was I struggling? So what I found is in that moment, right after, while I'm still on a high,
Mm-hmm.
I start saying, okay, yeah, let me see, what is the next thing you got to do? What's the next show? Because I'm on a high. Don't
Mm-hmm.
wait till it comes down and then you're back at the place where you're like,
Exactly.
oh my gosh. So
Exactly.
try your best to work in your place of serenity. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's also a place of serenity for me. After show, like after this show,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you're gonna be like, that was so much fun. So you
Yeah.
already in that moment start thinking about who am I gonna have next on the show?
Exactly.
What
Exactly.
am I gonna talk about next?
Yeah. And then I guess with what you're saying, I guess we can also like focus on the results rather than the process, like how we
Yes.
were able, like this feeling of like, wow, I actually did it. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking
Mm-hmm.
to you for about a month now, and like now we're
Yes.
finally here. So like
Yes.
focusing on the result and the feeling that you get at the end. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you had a goal of losing weight and you actually focus on the result, that might be more help us be more motivated. You think that might help us be more motivated? But that
It
doesn't mean we're
would.
gonna do what we're
It doesn't mean we're gonna do it. It would get us motivated.
uh-huh.
Let me talk about the whole losing weight thing. There was a time. There was a
Hmm.
time that I did lose a little bit of weight, and I'm just remembering this right now. What I did differently was when I woke up in the morning, I put on my workout clothes immediately.
Mm, mm,
And I said to myself, you cannot take this off until you do 15 minutes of workout.
mm.
So when I had a meeting, I knew I had to change out of my clothes, but I've already told myself that you cannot take this off until you've worked out for 15 minutes. That forced me every day to get at least 15 minutes in. I don't know why I stopped doing it, but I did. But for
Like,
that season, for that season, it worked. And I would be walking around the house. I would hate to have to make the kids breakfast in my workout clothes because my husband would be looking at me. He won't say nothing, but he'll just be looking at me like, okay, she hasn't done anything this So sometimes you have to put in things that will force you to get
mhm,
out of your comfort zone just to
mhm,
accomplish that task. And now that I said that tomorrow morning,
mhm.
I'm gonna be open. I hope you keep me accountable.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
gonna put on my workout clothes in the morning, and I'm not gonna take it off until I do at least 15 minutes of workout.
Absolutely. Like we can do it in the house. We don't need to go to
Yeah.
like fitness place. We don't need to. We can literally do that in the house.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now let's go on to the next question. If you
Okay.
had to give an advice to anyone going into the new year, like what advice would you give to those individuals?
Oh goodness, so many things. But let me just say that this is a new year. It's a
Mm-hmm.
brand new you. You
Mm-hmm.
have an opportunity to do some things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Celebrate yourself. What are some of the things you did so well in 2021? And celebrate yourself. Be proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Just celebrate the accomplishments
Mm-hmm.
and think about how good you feel now, knowing that you did so many great things in 2021, and
Mm-hmm.
apply that into 2022. We're
So,
all going to face challenges. We're all going to have setbacks. It's part of life, right?
yes.
But I just want you to know that you're able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Stay accountable with
Mm-hmm.
an accountability partner. And just know that 2022 is going to be better than 2021.
Absolutely. Like, let's all say that. Like, let's all manifest that. What do you think? So
I think
you
we
can say
do.
this to yourself. My 2022 is gonna be way better than my 2021. This is gonna
Absolutely.
be
Let's say it together, Gianna, in case people are shy. Let's say it together, okay?
okay. Okay.
Ready?
Ready, set, go. My
My 2022 is
is
going to be
way
way better
than
than
my
my 2021.
21. Yes. Amen. From our mouth to the ears of God. Now seal it.
Yes, ma'am.
Now stop it.
Yes. I love it. I love
Yes,
it. I love
yes,
it. I love
yes.
it.
I love that. So this is gonna be our last. This is gonna be my last question for you. It's gonna be kind of like a game with you, and basically
Oh,
what.
I love games.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna mention basically, I'm gonna ask you to say the first life advice that comes to your mind when I mention these sentences, like these words. The word will basically start with how to set yourself up for success in, and then I'm gonna mention different words to follow that. All right. So, Sister Yemisi, let's start this. How to set yourself up for success in friendship.
Mm. Give what you want to receive.
Mm,
Give what you want to receive. If you want a good friend, you got to be a good friend. If
mm,
you want somebody else to be available, you have to be available. So
mm.
give what you want to receive.
Hashtag guilty. I'm very bad with like checking on my friends, but but I need to work on that. I love that.
Mm.
Thank you. That's someone said tough pill. Oh yeah, let's swallow it. Mm.
Yeah. Let me swallow. Let me swallow real quick.
Let's swallow it. It's a tough pill. Okay, next one. How to set yourself up for success in love.
Mm. Be open
Mm.
but specific. So, and I want to expand on this a little bit more. I think in order for you to receive love, you have to be open to getting love. Like you need to be open. Some of us are so closed up and we have such a tall wall in front of us that love can't break through that.
Mm.
It's too much work. It's too much work to break down that wall. So be open to love, right? That's number one. I think the second thing is to be specific. You need to know how you want to be loved. How do you want to be loved?
Mm.
How do you want to be loved and by whom?
Mm.
If you want to be loved by someone who is, unemployed, who doesn't know how to treat women, you speak that into existence and that's what you're going to get. But if you want somebody to love you that is God fearing,
Mm.
who will cherish you, who will treat you like the diamond that you are, you speak that into existence and it will come. So be open and be specific because what's meant for you is meant for you. And if you don't know what's meant for you, you'll get everything and anything that comes your way.
Mm. So in this 2022, one of my goals is to find love. So I'm going to
Oh,
I'm going to be open and be specific. Okay.
yeah.
Sorry,
You
guys.
got to be specific. You got to know what you want so that if something comes your way that is not what you want, you're not wasting your time.
Mm.
And trust me, they will find you, Adela. You are too hot and too beautiful. You don't need to look for love. It's going to come to you. I'm manifesting that into your life. This time next year, you're going to be like, guess what? Well, no pressure, but
I feel
no
like
pressure, but
mm-hmm.
it'll come. It'll definitely come as long as you know what you want. So that if things start coming, that's not what you want. You don't even pay it any mind.
Don't waste your. Sometimes I waste my time, but don't waste my time. Back.
Don't waste your time.
Okay.
You know what you want.
I
Yeah, don't
do.
waste your time.
Don't waste your time. From your God is speaking through you to me. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Just kidding. But let's go to the next one. How to set yourself up for success in finance.
For finances, you have to have a goal. Create a goal. But you're laughing at the chat, right?
Yeah, someone say
Create
come and buy. Next year she'll be like, come and buy. I will show you. Yeah, man, no, come and buy. I will show you.
I saw that. I think you also need to have goals for your finances, and write them out. And you have to be able to see it on a continuous basis. So,
Mm,
what are your financial goals for your debt? What are your financial goals for your savings?
mm,
What are your financial goals for your spending? What are your financial goals for every single thing that is tied to finances? You need to have goals, and then you also need to check in with it. With finances, if you don't have a goal, it's very hard to meet the target.
mm.
Yeah, I think, and that's something I'm not just speaking about. That's something that I actually practice every year. I have a goal that by the end of the year, I want my account to have this much in savings. I
Mm-hmm.
want my debt to be down by this percent. Some years I don't meet it, but I get really close.
Mm.
So having a financial goal is so key
Yeah,
for success.
absolutely. One of the things that I did this year was I have a friend who was a CPA. So I kind of
Mm.
sat down with her and I had her review my finances. And I kind of noticed that a bad habit of mine is, not knowing, just spending without like accountability and not knowing, not being able to account for where things were going. But after sitting down with her, she like broke things down for me. And now I kind of have something to follow. And I believe I'm almost sure that this is going to help me with my I have a feeling that by the end of this year, I'll be in a better place financially.
No,
Just
you will be.
yeah,
You will. Don't have a feeling. That's what's going to happen. That's what it is. You got
amen.
to claim it.
I
And,
will be
I
in a
think what you're talking about is a budget. You have a budget, right? You have a budget.
right
This is
now.
what I'm going to spend.
Yeah.
And the fact that you saw, like, oh my gosh, this is how much I'm spending on A, B, or
Mm-hmm.
C, you
Mm-hmm.
can now reevaluate and say, okay, I need to have a budget for my finances.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're going to do. And your year is going to be better than last year.
Amen. 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 Absolutely. And then the next one that I have for you is how to set yourself up for success with your health and well-being.
Mm. With that, I think it's so key to have a starting point. You need to get a baseline assessment of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you haven't done a physical yet, do it. So you know where you are, and then you can kind of establish where you want to be. So, go see your doctor, find out how healthy or unhealthy you are right now, and then start making some plans based on that. I think it's also important to just do a review, an assessment of some of the things that maybe the doctor can't see. So, how are you always tired? Are you, is your digestive system not working the way you want it to? If you realize that some things are just not right, you know, start studying what have I done all last year and what do I need to do differently? Do I need to increase my vegetables? Do I need to drink more water? Just taking a look at, and there's a lot of resources online. I wouldn't take that as the Bible, but definitely try to educate yourself on what your intake should be and then have a conversation with your doctor about it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And next one is how to set yourself up for success in your career.
I love this one because one of the things that I heard from someone a few years ago was that you should take your job or your career, look at it as an internship,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you go into an internship, your whole purpose of doing that is to learn. You want to learn something new. You
Right.
want to be able to like soak up information, have a mentor, have somebody guide you through the process. And I think that should definitely continue throughout your career. You
Mm-hmm.
always want to learn something new. Anytime there's an opportunity to learn a new way of doing things
Mm-hmm.
concerning your career, take that on. Anytime there's an opportunity to be mentored by someone or also for you to mentor someone, take that on
Mm-hmm.
so that you can not only see where you can go, but you can have the tools and the resources to do that. So just going to work 9 to 5 and doing whatever it is you do at work is not enough. You got to go the extra mile if you want to be successful. Because the people that rise to the top are the people that put in just a little bit more than everybody else. those are the ones that are getting the jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not smarter than you, but they got more connections than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people who, are called on to do special projects. They don't work more hours than you do, but they put in just a little bit more umph into what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having the mindset of this is an opportunity for me to learn and grow and apply what I learn and grow to my job or my career, that will really set you up for success.
Absolutely. I want to just add something to that. Not really add, just tell you something that I think. So, sometimes when you're in a place that you don't really like a job that you don't really like, I mean, I used to be there, so I never really I just would go to work, do the bare minimum in a way, because I just had no motivation towards it. But then I kind of switched jobs, and then I'm in a better place, in a place that I do like. So now I find myself actually wanting to go that extra miles to do things I
Mhm.
want to learn. So, do you think no matter where we find ourselves, we should still always go that extra mile for our career?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go that extra mile wherever you are, because every place that you're in, you leave your reputation. So you
Mm-hmm.
might not have liked the job, and you probably didn't like your boss, or maybe you just didn't feel like it was a good fit, but you were there and you want to leave an impression. Because the thing that I notice, especially in my field of public health and in coaching, is that, someone who used to work for you or with you can one day be someone you work for.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where you are, you want to put in your best, even if it's just for a small period of time, or even if you're transitioning out.
Mm-hmm.
You want to leave them wishing they kept you, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult. I was in that place at one time as well, where, I loved the job. I just wasn't. I felt that I needed more, but I still gave it my best. And when I was leaving, they were saying, "Oh, well, we can match that offer. We can." No, it's too late. You
Absolutely.
It's too late. I want to go on to do bigger and better things. And thank you for what I've learned here. But
Uh-huh.
now it's time for me to move on.
Time ago. Thank you so much. I really like that. So, the last question is, so how to set yourself up for success in life.
Hmm. This is a big one. It's very, very big, but I think it goes back to the basic, just having a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Having a plan, having milestones, and we've talked about this a couple of times today. You
Mm-hmm.
need a plan, you need periodically check-in points, and you need to be accountable to somebody, even if that somebody is yourself. When we think of accountability partners, I absolutely think that you should have a partner in every aspect of your life where you can touch base with. But you
Mm-hmm.
also have to be accountable to yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to ask yourself, am I doing what I said I was going to do early this year? Or this month or this week. So in order to be successful in life, you have to know what that means for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does success mean for you?
Absolutely.
When am I going to check in? Am I going to check in every month, every quarter, twice a year, at the end of the year, which I don't recommend. I recommend doing it periodically. And then, the last thing is, who am I accountable to? You
Mm-hmm.
know, for me, I'm accountable to other people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
accountable to myself, and I'm also accountable to God because He's given me this time. I need to use it wisely.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. Sister Yemisi, I just want to say this was beautiful. Thank you so much. I mean,
Thank you.
yes, I mean, I know that you do have a coaching session and you have a special going on right now. Do you mind
Yes.
just sharing a little bit about, your services and, what you
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, as I mentioned before, I am really big on coaching, helping people get to their place of serenity.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a normal program where it's a 6 week program. Once you become my client, we talk about what your goals are, and we set up an accountability plan. I work with you once a week to check in and see how things are going. I've also set up other plans for other people who might need monthly check-in points
Mm-hmm.
or different times throughout the year. But the special that I have for 2025 Two, I released it today. This is brand spanking new. And
Mhm.
really what it is, it's an opportunity for us to do a Serenity Discovery session. And it's a 75-minute session. If you want it to happen at one time, I can do that. But if you need to break it up into two, I can also accommodate that. And what we'll do is we'll map out what are your Serenity goals for this year?
Mhm.
What do you want to accomplish this year? And I put in Serenity because I also don't want it to be something that is stressful. I
Right.
want you to not be overwhelmed in getting to this place. So we'll talk about that. We'll create an individualized plan for each person I speak to, and we'll just move from there. You can find out more about it by going to my handle or going to my website. And it's really easy. It's iamyemisi.com. You can see all of the services. You'll see what people have said about me, and you can schedule some time to talk to me. If you want to do a discovery call, we can do that as well, where we just talk about what are some of your needs, and we'll see if we can work together on any of the packages.
Absolutely. Sister Yemisi, I just want to say thank you so much. I hope everyone learned a thing or two on this session today because I know that I did, and it was such a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, really. To my audience, if you guys have any questions for Sister Yemisi, do you mind just like putting it in the comment section and she's gonna take it? So
Yeah,
here,
I can take any questions.
yeah,
How do you want to read the questions or
sure.
you want me to read it?
So one of the question is, how do you deal with the fear of handling the possibility of the success that you hope for?
How do you deal with the fear? So fear is one of the things that holds so many people back. The way that I deal with anything that is associated with fear in my life is I counter it with something of faith. That's my thing. So, for example, the fear of success. When I was thinking about starting my coaching program, I wasn't too confident in it because something was in my ear saying, "Is anybody gonna book you? Is anybody gonna want to talk to you? What do you have to offer?" And so I had to counter that with God has placed so much in me that he wants to share with the world.
Mhm.
I can do this. I can set up a plan to do this. I can work with someone to do this. So countering every negative with a positive. It's very difficult to overcome something you're hearing on a consistent basis
Right.
unless you overpower it with the opposite. And that's what I do all the time.
Mm.
All the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So you attack something like that with faith from a spiritual perspective. Like this is what
Yep.
God said about me, you know.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's really really beautiful. I feel like my lashes are about to like pop out.
Oh no, they look fine. They look great.
I didn't glue them well enough. So
Well, we can't tell. It looks fabulous.
okay, I was
Yeah.
just looking
Oh
at it like,
yeah.
oh my god, it's like this thing's about to jump away. Okay. Thank you so much. So,
You're welcome.
let me see if we have any other questions. That was that one question that I had earlier. I think people typed the other questions in the chat, in the comment section, but we might have missed it. So, Sister Yemisi, can you pick two people that you believe participated the most?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So there's a couple of people that I saw their names pop up so many times, and there might be more, but these are the ones that I saw the most. And I'm writing down their handles so that I don't miss it. But I saw them a lot on here. Okay, so the first person was Nasir underscore Abdul. Is that your family member?
No.
Because they chat. Listen, this person is just chatting away, and I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
they're,
And do you know this person?
so they're tech. I mean, at this point, they're usually always at every show, and they're always supporting me. So I really, really, they're considered family regardless. Thank you, Nasir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Nasir.
really
Thank you, cousin Nasir. We're gonna call you cousin
We're gonna
Nasir
call
because
you
you're always here. So he was he yeah, I think it's a he. He was chatting away, and then Hamida Abdul also was the same. Are they related? I think they're related.
They're probably related. I think they're related. They're
Oh,
very.
thank you
Oh,
guys. I mean, a lot of people was chatting, but these two people, I saw a lot of comments for them. So thank you guys for staying engaged. There's so many people. I wish we could give something out to everybody, but we can't. Oh,
I-
she said we are family. Oh, but
that's
I can also, I can also give away one of my sessions, one of my 75-minute sessions, because the special is 22% off.
mm-hmm.
But what I'll do is I'll give one of my sessions away to one of your viewers, and I guess I can just have them. I don't know, how should we do this?
Like you want to choose one of them to give a session to between the Sarah and Amita or somebody else completely?
I was thinking somebody else,
Okay. Okay.
but I can. Yeah, let's do somebody else.
Yeah, let's find.
Oh, I can ask a question. So the first person to answer this question, maybe they'll get it. Okay, let's do that. All right.
Can I answer?
So throughout,
Okay.
no, you can't answer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
throughout today, I've been mentioning one word that really describes, what I like to do with my clients and what my coaching brand is all about. If you can guess that word and put it in the chat, we can set up something. There was one word that I used throughout this entire session that's my answer. What's your answer? What did the person say?
Toyosi got it.
Oh, Toyosi got it. Oh, thank you, Toyosi. See, look at God. And Toyosi was the one that recommended me, right?
Yes, yes.
Look at how God works. Oh, yes. It is Serenity.
Oh my
Yes.
God, this is so beautiful. Oh
Oh,
wow,
gosh.
Serenity. Oh, I want a session too.
Go ahead and DM me. We can work that out. We can work that
I'll
out.
book a session. Thank you,
Yes.
everybody. Thank you so much for participating. I highly recommend you should check out Sister Yemisi's page at I am Yemisi. I am underscore Yemisi underscore. So you should
Yes.
definitely check out her page and check out her programs. She has a lot to offer, and I think we all can learn a lot more from her. I would highly encourage that, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for being here today. Thank you so much, Sister Yemisi, for being here
Thank you.
today.
Thank you for this opportunity and this platform. And all of my people, I see you guys on here. Master Plan, everybody that's on here, thank you for joining. But I also want you to follow Diola as well. She's doing a lot of great things. And, I just want to support her. She's a woman of impact that's doing amazing things. So go ahead after this IG Live, go and follow her. Give her a thumbs up. Tell her she's doing a fantastic job, because she is. And we need to support each other in 2022.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Everybody have a fantastic new year. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.